Namaste everyone who have joined in.
जी Prasadi, namaste. Welcome.
Namaste.
So,
जी,
hello,
my
welcome.
voice is clear, भैया?
Yes, the voice is clear.
जी, ठीक,
Welcome.
thank you.
We still have a couple of minutes. We'll start in a while.
जी, भैया, thank you.
Hello, welcome and namaste everybody. Welcome you all in our family reunion and weekly follow-up session of SIP Module 1 Universal Human Values. We have our source person and coach Prasadi with us. Prasadi, namaste. Welcome.
जी भैया, namaste. Namaste everyone.
Welcome. Over to you.
जी, thank you भैया. Namaste everyone. So I'll just share the PPTs from my side. Welcome everyone to this session. So we are discussing proposals related to how we can be really happy and prosperous in continuity. And we are discussing all of them one by one. This is the 6th session wherein we are wanting to understand harmony at the level of the self, and thus also understanding the body. So I am not just the body, I am self and body in coexistence. What I want, what is my basic aspiration? My aspiration is to be happy and prosperous. Is it your aspiration as well? We have to keep exploring whatever we keep doing in our lives. We are taking so many efforts. We are doing so many things. We are having so many thoughts going on in us. We are converting them into action. What are we expecting from all of this? We want to become something. We want to be asking this question to ourselves after all that effort that we are doing. What do we want to be? Are we asking this question to ourselves? Do I want to be prosperous, happy and prosperous in continuity with all the efforts that I am doing? The efforts may be different, the steps may be different, but ultimately I want to be happy and prosperous. Am I able to see this for myself? Do I question this? Do I look into and find that whatever I do is to be happy? Am I able to see this for myself? So to be happy, I got to understand. What is my program? My program is to understand. Understand what? Understand the harmony at all levels of my being. So I am living at all the 4 levels. So I got to understand. And I got to live by that understanding. So the first level, that is at the level of the human being, I got to see whether I have understood myself well. Do I know myself well? I have understood at the level of the self, at the level of the human being, the individual that I am. Next is the level of the family. Next is the level of the society. And next is the level of nature and existence. All these 4 levels I live every moment. So I got to understand. That is my program, to accomplish the basic aspiration of mine. And that is your program, isn't it? As well. So let's see whether it is so. And in that process, we are trying to understand ourselves there. In that, I am not just the body, I am self and body in coexistence. But for this body, am I able to understand, do I understand health? So let's explore in this session. So for us, what we see, we also want to be healthy. And we see that, so there's a concern that there's a loss of time due to illness. Students can see that. I became sick once and I missed an exam, or I missed something that was an important event for me. Has it happened for you? We can just see. So being healthy is important. Isn't it important for us? Is it important for you to be healthy? So let's explore. So we were exploring, in fact, in the last session, how to understand human being and how this understanding of the human being, can help resolve so many issues, so many concerns that we may be having. And with this understanding, with this backdrop, this understanding that I am not just the body, I am self and body in coexistence. So able to see that, yes, my needs are different, my body's needs are different. My need is continuous happiness. The need of the body is physical facility. If I look into the needs of the activities of the self and body also, am I able to see that the activities also of mine are different and that of the body are different? My needs and activities are continuous. The needs of the body are temporary. Is that right for me? Am I able to explore this for myself and see that? With this understanding, we try to understand, we tried to explore in the last session that the needs of the self is happiness, the need of the body is physical facility. But why do I need this physical facility? For what do I need this physical facility? These the need of physical facility of the body are fulfilled by physiochemical things. The need of the self is happiness, which is fulfilled by right understanding and right feeling. Am I able to see this for myself? Is it right? For myself, am I able to see that this body is a material, it is an instrument of mine? This physiochemical thing, I eat food, right? That food is physiochemical. The clothes that I have put on, they are physiochemical. This house that I am, this room that I am sitting in is physiochemical. So this physical facilities that I require, the requirement of the body are physiochemical things. Now, with this, what has been written here is that this feeling of self-regulation. Where is this feeling of self-regulation? The feeling of responsibility towards the body. Where it would be, the responsibility, I want to keep this body healthy, right? So where is this feeling? Where would this feeling be? In the self or in the body? You can respond on the chat. Where would this feeling of self-regulation be? This feeling of responsibility towards the body would be in the self or would be in the body? What do you think? You can just keep exploring for yourself and see. Ravindraji is writing self. Snehalji is also writing that this feeling is in the self. So this feeling of self-regulation, with this feeling of self-regulation in the self, I feel responsibility. I feel responsible towards the body. And now, this body, suppose if, see, the way I own a car or own a vehicle or own any physical facility, it could be a mobile. What do I take care of this car? That what kind of fuel I am putting in this car? Do I take care? Yes or no? Do I go to a petrol pump where I know that this petrol or this fuel is not proper? I see to it that I go to a petrol pump wherein I get correct kind of fuel for my car. I protect my car from getting damaged, isn't it? I cover it, I put it in the garage, right? I do see to it that it doesn't, meet an accident, isn't it? I rightly utilize the car. So I utilize the car for going to some distance. I do not utilize the car just to walk some, maybe 50 meters. If I have to go to buy a vegetable that is just 15 meters, maybe I'll just walk and go and get it, right? Do I take out my car from the garage? And so I rightly utilize this car, right? So this car is my instrument. Similarly, this body is my instrument. Do I have this responsibility towards this body of nurturing this body, of protection of this body, for right utilization of the body? So all this physical facility that I'm wanting for nurturing the body, protection of the body, and right utilization of the body. Can you see that? Yeah. So how do I nurture the body? What kind of intake am I taking? Right? Do I really pay attention on that? So with the feeling of responsibility towards the body, I will see to it that I nurture the body, right? So with the feeling of responsibility, do I go for junk food? Whenever I'm having this feeling of responsibility, will I go for junk food? Yes or no? What do you think? Whenever I'm having this feeling of responsibility in me towards my body, do I go for a junk food? No? Girishji is writing no. I do not opt for junk food. Isn't it? Snehalji is also writing no. So whenever this feeling is there in me, this responsibility, the feeling of responsibility towards the body, I will not opt for junk food, but I'll opt for something that will be nurturing for my body, isn't it? And I would protect the body. So this physiochemical things. So clothes for protecting the body. It could be shoes that I put on if I have to walk outside. I protect my feet with shoes, right? So protection of the body. I utilize the physiochemical things. I also have this physical facility for rightly utilization of the body. So if I have to take a session in a hall, I have a mic there. So what is the purpose of this mic? This purpose of this mic is that if I have to talk to some 100 people in a hall, this mic will help amplify my voice so that I do not have to shout, so that I can, this speech of mine can reach everyone. So it is for the right utilization of the body. This mobile, this laptop here is that for right utilization of the body. If I have to talk about this topic, otherwise I'll have to come to your place and talk, isn't it? We have to gather together, be at one place, and only then we can discuss. But just because this mobile, this laptop, the facility, the internet is there, this platform is there for us to connect, we are able to, rightly utilize the body. We are able to reach out. So with the feeling of responsibility towards the body, I nurture the body, I protect and rightly utilize the body. I use these physiochemical things, this physical facility for it. This feeling of self-regulation, this health is a natural outcome of this feeling of self-regulation. Whenever I'm having this feeling of self-regulation, I ensure that the body is healthy. So when we say healthy, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to you to be healthy? You can respond on the chat. When do you say that you are healthy? Or you may just unmute and also would want to talk. That is also okay. So whenever I'm having the feeling of self-regulation, health is the natural outcome. When we say health, you may see for yourself, is it right for you as well? That the body acts as per me. So when I say, when I want my body to walk, I'm able to walk. When I want to sit, I want to sleep, I'm able, the body is able to do it. It is acting as per me. So Gireshji is writing, able to do all the bodily and mental needs satisfactorily as per the wish of the self. Yes, nice, Gireshji. So the body acts according to the self. We say that health is ensured in the body, isn't it? So if I want to go to sleep at night and I'm not able to sleep, so I want to go to sleep, right? I want to see that my body takes some rest there, but I'm not able to. Do I say that I'm healthy there? Yeah, we can just keep exploring for ourselves. Yeah, Snehalji is writing synchronized mind and body, that is health, according to her. Rubyji is writing nurturing and protection of the body with right understanding, right time. Okay. So health is that my body acts according to me and parts of the body are in harmony. So all the parts of my body are in harmony. I say that health is ensured in my self, in my body. So with the feeling of self-regulation in the self, we see that health is ensured in the body. So with the feeling of self-regulation, I do not opt for junk food. I opt for some food that would be nurturing for my body, isn't it? Yeah, Amresh is writing, body is able to do all functions as per self. That is what is health. Nice. So what we see is that when we have this feeling of self-regulation, what would be the program for it? Am I having that clarity? How we can ensure health in the body? When we go and see the body is an orderly system. You see that everything, in the body, when you see all the organs, all the system is in harmony already. It is having a definite conduct. All the cells in the body work together in harmony with each other, participating in the larger order. So cells make tissues organs, organs make organ systems, and all of this system is an orderly system, isn't it? So when we are having food, do we really instruct the body that, okay, this much ml bile, this much ml other digestive juices, all of this, what time they have to be released, how much? Do we really regulate that? We see that it is self-organized, isn't it? The body. It is self-organized unit, an orderly system. The self has to ensure this harmony that is inherent in the body, isn't it? The self has to ensure the continuity of this harmony and do not disturb it. This is what I have to ensure, isn't it? Yes or no? What do you have to say something as per what has been said till now? Do you see the body is an orderly system? So when we are like 99% babies that are born, we'll see that they are healthy only. All the health problems that we have, we may have just accumulated over the time because this feeling of self-regulation was going amiss somewhere for ourselves. So if I have a feeling of responsibility towards the body, I'll do what is required to fulfilling that responsibility. And that will automatically, that the natural outcome will be health in the body. Yes or no? What do you have to say? Do you see this for yourself? So yes, when do I go and eat this samosa or a pizza or whatever? We can explore for ourselves. When do I do this? So let's explore what would be the program for health. So for staying healthy, do we see that? Is this my program? Let's see, look for ourselves. Intake. Do I just have, I do pay attention as to what is my intake? What is the intake means? All that we are taking through the senses, right? Intake includes air that we are taking. So intake is not just the food. So I said junk food we are taking, okay, or healthy food we are taking. Yes, that is a large part of the intake, but in fact, we are taking air, we are taking in water. Am I also aware of the sunlight? The sunlight is also intake. Am I ensuring that the food that I am taking in is nutritious, is digestible, tasty, waste excretable? Do I have also this thing in mind when I go choose for a food or I just go for the taste of it? So what kind of intake am I taking? And this intake includes not just the food, but all the intakes that we are taking. So what am I listening to? What sound that I'm hearing, sight, what I am seeing, what I am smelling. All the intake through the senses. Yeah, so Vaishali Didi is writing that if anything going wrong in the body, it gives some indication that we should try. So if we are aware, we are able to see that the body harmony is going into disharmony. So we are able to look into that. Yes. So for my program, so whenever the body is going into disharmony, what do I do? Do I pay attention as to what is my intake? Do I, or whenever the body is going out of harmony, I see that it is so, I just go and take medicine. do I really follow this kind of a thing that I look into my intake? Maybe I had something in my lunch, dinner, breakfast, which was not healthy, not as per that feeling of self-regulation. We'll have to just see. And do I really pay attention to the daily routine, the lifestyle that I'm having? When do I get up? And when do I go to sleep? What is the time at I have lunch, dinner, breakfast? What is my lifestyle? Do I pay attention? Do I do ample labor? So labor is like doing some physical work, wherein some physical facility is getting produced. So maybe the farmer is working in the fields, so producing some crop there. So any physical facility that leads to any labor, any work, any labor that leads to, whenever we say labor means the outcome is a physical facility. But that is not the case, because if we are living in a city or something like that, we're not doing ample labor, swabbing the homes or are working the fields. Then maybe we go for, do we really then have a program for exercise there? So exercise, and if then otherwise going for some asana pranayam. Is this how is my program? And if body goes back, has gone out of harmony, what do I do? Do I eat medicine? I go and buy medicine and have it, or maybe I look into my kitchen itself is having so much of so-called medicines. We can just see whether we are able to use those, ajwain, kala namak, or you have this lemon or whatever. You can see how so much many things are there in our kitchen. Is it helping us to come to harmony, or we go and just pop in some pills? And still, if the body is in disharmony, we may go and have some dependence. We may depend on drugs or machine to perform the bodily functions. So that could be, is this the way we are going by? So let's see if in detail intake. Anyone would want to share as far as whatever has been said till now? Do we really pay attention that what kind of intake are we taking? Maybe students or the busy lifestyle that we are having, we are not having the time to pause and think. Have we paid attention that intake includes all that we absorb through all the senses, air, water, sunlight, including food? Also thoughts in response to the outside events, circumstances. So something happened somewhere. What kind of thoughts were fed? What was going on in me? Even that is the intake. So to maintain health, food that we choose, we'll have to see, is it nutritious, it is digestible, is it tasty, and waste excretable? Also, is it having ample fiber, is it rich in fiber, so on. Awareness of other intakes through our senses, especially while eating. What do we do? And when we are having food, are we aware of how much to eat? When do we stop? Do I get sensation? The sensation of hunger is there. So I get a sense that, okay, now I have to have food. I also get a sense that now I have to stop eating also. But at times I'm so busy, maybe, seeing in my mobile or TV, or I'm busy in myself, I don't just realize that I have to now stop. That sensation is coming to me, that the stomach is full. But at times we are not able to read it. So awareness about other intakes also. Choice of food. Now, we do say to children and even other family members that not see TV, what are we watching on TV? A lot of what kind of uh, programs are we seeing there while we're eating? What even this is the intake, right? So am I aware of that as well? Even this daily exposure to the fresh air with ACs at home, at colleges, at workplaces. When we are going also to college, maybe we'll have to see whether this car is also air conditioned. Uh, we'll have to see whether we are really exposing ourselves to fresh air. And the kind of lifestyle we are having in the cities now, am I really exposing myself to sunlight? And am I doing that? So earlier in the house constructions were such that uh, people also used to do work in such a way that in my village I could see that there was a gas stove outside only in the open space wherein there was light. So in the morning itself food used to be prepared. So much of so that people are exposed to the even women at home who are making food are exposed to sunlight. That kind of a construction was there. But now the kind of construction that we are staying in flats nowadays, the kind of construction is there. Do we really expose ourselves to sunlight? So all of this, do we really, to ensure health in ourselves, do we really take care, pause and ponder over to see what is my intake? Intake is all that I absorb through all the sense organs. So what do I do about my daily routines? When do I get up? So with the children, if you see, maybe I have myself two sons there. When they're very young, we help them get up early in the morning. We may pull them out of bed. If that exploration has not happened in the child, what happens? Now there is a preconditioning that you have to get up in the morning. So this preconditioning they are living with. And when they are teenagers, they have another preconditioning, set of preconditioning coming their way. The students that are there with them, they say, okay, only the oldies get up in the morning. The teenager have to be, do all the work at night and get up uh, late in the morning. In the morning they have to sleep, and at night they have to work. So is that maybe the case when we do not self-explore so much? Yes, Girishi would want to share something. Girishi, welcome.
Namaste, am I audible?
Ji, bhaiya, you're audible. Welcome.
Actually, I raised the hand quite some time back. Actually, it is something related to the intake we are talking about. Actually, the intake part is very clear because we need to have a control on the intake, and that will definitely improve our health, no doubt about it. But there is one more element to it, right? Because normally our intake also happens to have something like a harmful substance. It may not be intentionally taken. It may be like we are getting a pathogen coming into our way, because like a virus or bacteria, it may be even taken through food or maybe air or water. It may be totally involuntary. So that doesn't have any of our control in that. So in that scenario, how we can control the intake? Definitely, we may have to depend on other means like medicine or any other treatment for that purpose, right?
Absolutely. So whenever our body is going into disharmony, we would maybe wanting to go for any medicine, but we'll have to see most of the problems are just because of this pathogen or this virus has entered my body, or it is just because I was not able to self-regulate how much I want. I was asked to not have a lot of sweet, but I did have the sweet. I was asked not to have a lot of salt, but this taste is so important for me now that I did put a lot of salt in my salt that was more than what was required for me in my dish. So that we can see. And when I'm healthy, all these pathogens, these virus, bacteria are even otherwise also are entering my body. and my body is able to fight them back, isn't it? If I am healthy. Isn't it, Maya?
Actually, if you look in that way, right, because then actually it may not be 100% true, because that is why my perception is, even though if you are even considering a yogi or maybe who is perfectly healthy in all the ways, he can still get some disease. It is not that they are immune to any of these things, because purposefully, if someone is getting contaminated in any manner, it always happens. That is actually totally out of our control. Definitely we can raise our immunity, or maybe if we control the intake of a few of the substance, because again we are again having a big debate on this if you are continuing on that way, because what is happening is the amount of sugar or salt intake for a person, that is again dependent on his or his needs. Probably he may be needing a bit of larger amount of salt in his dish, because he may be needing that. Maybe medically itself, I mean, like, because sometimes even if you are having a low BP and if you are getting admitted, the first thing they do is they put a saline for you. Say same thing happens, because normally we reduce the salt and we continue, we think that, oh my god, it is actually harmful for my body, and your BP will become lower, and the first thing the doctor will do is inject salt into your body straight away. So these things are actually creating a lot of concerns, because of too much awareness or too much caution also can be detrimental for our health. But normally what happens is, if you are regulating the intake with your right understanding, I mean that word very well, because right understanding is very much needed, because everyone may not be medically knowledgeable on any of these things. Nutrition, everyone will be reading, or they may be getting instructions from others who may not be even competent to give that. Then what happens is, naturally this can leave a big gap, because of the understanding, what is the right understanding for the person for the food. No one knows it in reality. We are actually experimenting it or exploring with it, and what is the right answer for it, till now even no one can tell that. So this always lead to a gap in that part. That's what my feeling is.
Yeah. So we are definitely we do require, whenever the body is going out of harmony because of these things that we have had, maybe consume something toxic unknowingly, or something that is entering our body from so many ways and means. Definitely for that, we have to maybe consult, we have to have the right kind of, as you said, that maybe for me, more salt is required, for someone less salt is required. So we'll uh, take an ample effort to find out what is right for myself. But what do I do when, for myself, when I see that, okay, someone has told me, when I am opting for a pizza and I'm having dal chawal also with for me, but I'm going for pizza, why? Why am I going for this particular thing? Because this taste is with me, and I say that, okay, this pizza or this any particular dish that you like or I like, or why do we go for that tasty food? Though I know that it is not right now healthy for me. It is because this self-regulation, this feeling of self-regulation has gone, is not in me right now. This is because of that
One
only.
thing, since you asked about pizza, right? I just popped up in my head, like, because actually these are all regional foods, because pizza originated in Italy, right? If in Italy, actually the persons were more into the dairy needs, or they were using cheese a lot in their normal daily routine itself. But in India, that was not our condition. We are not using this amount of cheese or any of the milk products much in earlier. But nowadays it is changing, because the cosmopolitan culture, the food is actually transversing from any country to other country in that way. So we are actually moving out of our normal foods that we are taking in according to our circumstance, or maybe the climatic, or maybe the locality, geographical locality, what is suited. Normally that is changing because of the availability now. So pizza, actually, I don't have any hate for that, because in Italy, if you are going, means you may be needing to eat on that on a daily basis, because there is no much alternate available to you. But in India, if you are looking at your homely food or whatever food is available to you, there it is always having a choice. So we don't have to detriment any food items in that way, because for the geography, or maybe if you are going to Russia, they will always consume vodka, because that is essential for their survival. It does not mean that we have to take vodka on a daily basis in India or Kerala. So that makes a lot of difference, because climatic conditions matters, and geography, everything matters a lot for the food habit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So here, when I'm giving this example, I'm not really I'm not looking down upon this food. I'm only saying because nowadays I see in India that the children, the teenagers, the students that I see around, they are very much obsessed because whenever there is a party there or something, they were wanting to go for this particular because they've got preconditioned in a certain way that this is a food that everyone would be liking. So that's why I gave that example. And very well said, Bhaiya, that we when we are coming from a certain geographical location, our bodies are also acquainted or as per that kind of food that we take. So because it reminded me of one example that my brother, so we are from the north and we have always been consuming rotis. We do have rice also, but mostly rotis. Now he has gone to the south and he's for some reason not able to be with the family because of some reason. So he's having this rice every day. Now what he is saying that he was having some health problems. So he went to the doctor. The doctor told him, see, you have always consumed wheat. So your body is made for that kind of food. Now, if you suddenly opt for something else, so this is not actually that kind of nutrition that you require is not getting fulfilled here with this kind of food that you have started to eat. So very rightly said that what kind of geographical location we are living, and thus in our systems you can see that our dadis and nanis, our grandmas were so very well educated as to what we should be having, what and when we should be having, what season what is to be served, and if someone's body is going out of disharmony, what is to be served to that person. All of this was knowledge, isn't it? That much of understanding was there. So the local food that was growing around only, how that could be consumed. So because of as you have rightly said, that so many things have got mingled up now, and now so much of information is also there. People are very confused as to what they should be consuming. So definitely that is there, Priya. So we would just move ahead to just see this lifestyle. Uh, do we really thank you, Priya, for responding on the chat there. So do I really? It's like, do I really pay attention to what is my intake? And then after that, also, do I really pay attention to the daily routine? So as the sun comes up, am I up by that time? Waking up time, is it before this, like before 6 o'clock? Like, am I up? Or my teenage kids, I see that they are sleeping long, even way the sun is up, and they say that, oh, we are up in the night. This is how the youngsters are nowadays. They say this is how they get up. They're all up in the night and morning they're sleeping. So is it the right thing? The complete, if you see the nature, if you have observed, you see the whole leaves are turning towards the sun. The creepers are moving where the sunlight happens to appear. The whole nature arises with the sun. When is my breakfast time? Is it around 8? When do I have the heaviest meal of my day? Is it around 12 when the sun is full? That time my what do we say, Jatragni, isn't it? The fire in the belly is ample to just for digestion. So that time, am I taking the heaviest meal? Absorption and assimilation happens from 2 to 6. Am I going by the circadian rhythm? When do I have my dinner? From 6 to 8 maybe? Is this the dinner time for me? Do I go to bed before 10 o'clock? Now, when am I in the deep sleep? This time 11 to 12, 12:30. Am I in deep sleep that time? As the liver activation, detox and repair happens here, am I in that sleep or am I still awake? So you may see our teenagers, when do they go to sleep? And for myself also, am I able to see that this is the circadian rhythm? Am I going by the circadian rhythm? Waste removal process happens at this 3 to 4. Now, am I going by this? Is my daily routine in harmony with nature? So for myself, I can just take a note, see where I am. Maybe I got to do the corrections. And I have seen so many times children who are not getting up early in the morning, but once they're up, even for myself, when I'm up very early, I feel so nice. We can help our children explore. Let them explore. So it's like control. Na? Bhaiya was also, I wanted to mention, we want to control the intake. So with self-regulation, I'll just make the right choice. You know, with I do not have to control the daily routine, but I have to understand. I have to understand, let's help our children also self-explore and see that whenever they are going by this circadian rhythm, how do they feel? Do they feel healthy? Do they feel a difference? Yeah. Yeah, Bhaiya is writing something on the chat there. I'm into these food timings for a long time, but I feel the right thing is to eat when you are hungry, as it is the right signal from body, saliva, and feeling of stomach. Absolutely. So Bhaiya, when we are having a particular routine, you may see that you will also be hungry at that point in time only. For myself, I can see that I have my lunch at 12:30. So I always will feel hungry at 12:30, wherever I am. In fact, if I am not in college also, I see that when I'm feeling hungry, I'll see the clock, it is 12:30. So we'll have to see that if we have a particular routine, our bodily clock also just moves with that. So we'll also feel hungry whenever, if you're having the lunch at that point in time only. Do you see that for yourself? The guy is saying that, yes. We can just make a note for it for ourselves also and see. Is that the case with us? So intake, daily routine. Next is ensuring labor, that is ensuring adequate movement of the body and production of physical facility. So we'll have to see that we go out for gym and all of that, but maybe we can do sweeping, swabbing. No? The children also can work at homes, in the hostels. That would encourage, that would help, or this labor would help keep health, isn't it? To kitchen gardening, or maybe cycle to the college or walk to the college. We can see whether we can explore these options for ourselves. In fact, for myself, I can see that at least 3 days a week in college also, I ensure that I go walking. So because I cannot go walking in the park or somewhere, I just go walking to the college half the way and then take a shared rickshaw and then go. So we can just see. So this a particular thing that is okay with me may not be okay with you. You can. So when we are having the feeling of self-regulation, we'll be creative enough to see how we can incorporate this in our lives, isn't it? And then if that is not possible, then maybe we have to see that are we really, if that is not ample labor, then we'll have to see that are we doing exercises, yoga, pranayama. This is that got some space in our routines? So yoga, pranayama, are we doing that? So intake, daily routine, labor. And if labor is not ample, then exercise. And then if still the body goes out of harmony, as we were saying there, yes, virus pathogens happen to enter our body. We don't know when. We are eating healthy food only, and still it does happen. So much of contamination is there in food. We eat, we think that it is healthy, but our body goes out of harmony. So we may go for medicine, but what do? Do we take chemicals, or do we go for some home remedies initially? So if it is a headache, do I pop in pill? Or if it is a headache, I just look into it and see what must have been this headache for. Is it because of it is quite cold outside? Maybe I can have steam. If it is a very hot outside, I can have an ice pack put on my I can cool it down. Or maybe it is just because I've not had an ample sleep. Maybe I can go to sleep. And for myself, seen it so many times that I go to sleep and the headache is gone. So maybe I've not had proper sleep because of which headache is there. So do I see to health self-regulation like that, or do I go and pop a pill? Isn't it? I'll have to see for myself. And then if still the body is in disharmony, then going in for a drug, or a machine for performing some bodily function like helping myself with insulin or dialysis. So it is like, what is the priority for me? What do I do? Is this the priority that first 1, 2, and 3? Intake, daily routine, and labor. This is where I pay attention. And then if labor is not there, then exercise and yoga pranayam. If that is not there, then still body goes out of health. Then I go for medicine. And that too, medicine means home remedies and other integrated medicine. And then still, if the body is not in harmony, then I go for treatment. Is this how I've set my priority for staying healthy? Or for myself, I have to self-explore and see in my life what do I keep doing? Isn't it? I may be a student, I may be so what is my present state? How do I go ahead to, choose? Right now, what is what is governing my desires, thought, expectation? Like, how do I opt for food? I mean, I have to opt for food. I select food for show off or getting attention from others. So as students, I can see in the college at times, I ask them, what do you bring for food? They are quite wary about, how to get curd rice or, rice and sambar or any other sabji or roti and sabji or parathas, They wanting to bring something in lunch so that they're able to, show off to their colleague, their classmates. Is that the way I'm choosing my food? To get attention from others? So I may be preconditioned. That this is going to, give me a lot of respect, a lot of acceptance in my peer groups. And accordingly, I am selecting food, as we can see in our social media. Also, students keep a lot of youngsters keep selecting. They go to some exotic place. What they're having, they'll click a photo, it'll put it on their social media platforms, and see how many likes they have got. So we'll have to see, how do we keep choosing? Are we preconditioned? And that is how we are choosing our intake. Or we are selecting food just for taste. Or with the feeling of self-regulation in me, I go select the food that is nourishing for my body. How do I select? All of this is going on in my mind when I go selecting this physical facility that is food for myself. Do you see these examples around? You may be seeing that your own child may not be carrying the food or the tiffin for college or school. Why? Have we inquired that? Maybe there must be a case wherein there are peer groups also. So do we really need to talk about this in our peer groups, with our students also? So what is going on in me? Whenever I am preconditioned or I am giving into sensation, I may see that this feeling of self-regulation has gone for a toss for me. And leave alone students. For myself, let me see, do I also select food in that way? And actually, what I really want this is this feeling of self-regulation. This is what is naturally acceptable to me, isn't it? Yes, anyone would want to share any particular incident or any particular uh, uh, something that students keep doing in our college also? Yes, Amresh Bhaiya would want to say something. Yeah, Amresh Bhaiya, namaste, welcome Bhaiya.
Yeah, namaste Didi. It is just in the
Namaste.
evening. With the evening, what has happened, I'm just trying to share that I'm into this UHV since long, since 1 year, and trying to look into my self-regulation every time and trying to involve myself for the nurturing of the body. But still, it so happens that we try to take examples of the others, trying to fulfill the favorable feelings from the others, like the family member, the kids, and all that. So I got a purchase today in the evening when I was coming from the college. I was trying to go to a bakery and purchase some cake, and so those stuff. When I purchased, I was not comfortable. But coming home, when I had a tea and eating that, why did I was asking this question to myself: that why did I purchase this? Is this with the concern of nurturing the body or something else? So once again, it was a sensation or something which was I was trying to get it from outside, not within. Definitely, that I was able to see this, and definitely, and this keeps on happening with us. So if we are alert, this will come down a bit. Otherwise, what we do, we go with some of the preconditions in ourselves, or with the sensation outside, and then do, even though you are not intended, but still it do happens because we are tuned for this. That's what I just wanted to bring my own exploration. Thank you.
Ji Bhaiya. Ji Bhaiya. So this keeps happening with us. Yeah, like even I can see that when I come from college and if I do not, so no, what I have done for some years, like almost a year, when I come from college, because I have my lunch at 12:30 because that is the break time for us. So all of us have lunch that time. So by the time I'm coming home, I'm very hungry. And earlier I used to have something, whatever is there, I would have tea and whatever junk food is there, no, that fast food, I'll have something, no, some snacks I'll have. No, that is not good for health. And so I was thinking, what can I do? Because I'm hungry at that time. So I have it. Now I have made right from 1 year now. I come and I have my dinner only at that time. So whatever is there, I'll prepare whatever some sabji I'll prepare because I have to have maximum 2 rotis and I can prepare. Or there is rice already. So I just eat my food at 6:30 and done. Then I prepare the dinner for everyone. So because I'm able to see that my body goes out of harmony because of with this late food I'm having, because I'm having a sensitive stomach. So I thought it's better to have dinner at this time and then I'm at ease. And thus, and I earlier used to think that it's not possible for me. But with this feeling of self-regulation, when this is there in me, I can make this choice and I can be creative enough. I can find solutions for myself, how I can keep healthy.
Definitely. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Bhaiya. So yes, otherwise this hunger was there and a lot of junk food I would consume and it would really harm my body also. So that is what I would want to share. That is what I have done. And I see that it is, so not everyone can have dinner so early. But for myself, I was able to see that I have to make some choice so that my body doesn't go out of harmony and I don't indulge into these junk foods also because of a lot of hunger at that point in time. So we can see that maybe we go in for, this prepared food, we buy something and have it. We can just see how we can have something very healthy for ourselves. Yeah. So we are now just going, we are having 4 minutes to go. So we'll have to see how do we keep selecting our, what is my present state? How do I select this food for myself as per preconditioning, or I go by sensation? I have this feeling of self-regulation. And whenever I see that I'm having this feeling of self-regulation, I always select a food that is nourishing for my body. For you, are you able to see that? So, human being is coexistence of self and body. Body is an instrument of the self. It is my instrument. The way I take care of my mobile, my laptop, my car, this instrument, do I take care of it as well? Do I have this feeling of self-regulation for this instrument of mine? The physical facility is required. This is, am I able to see that this is limited quantity? This is for nurturing, protection, and right utilization of my body. This is the role of physical facility. Am I able to see that? The cells and the body are in harmony when there is a feeling of self-regulation in the cells and health in the body. Self-regulation means the feeling of responsibility towards the body. Feeling of responsibility towards the body with nurture, how I can nurture the body, how I can protect the body and rightly utilize the body. And with the feeling of self-regulation, I always take decisions that would ensure health in me, isn't it? And health is a natural outcome of self-regulation. I can keep exploring this for myself in my living. Is that so for me? Health means my body is acting as per me and parts of the body are in harmony. Am I able to see this for myself? So we do have 2 minutes for ourselves. If you have any questions, you can go for it and we can continue with this next time onwards. Maybe anything anyone want to share? Would want to hear? Yeah, Girish is writing food is needed to satisfy body and self. So we'll have to see food is needed for nurturing the body, isn't it? Yeah. The taste, who is taking the taste of this food? Is the body or is it the self? Who is given it this meaning that this particular food is tasty? So when I want, Tobiya is writing self is having this taste, isn't it? And I've only given it a meaning. Now this, what we call bitter, this thing, Karela. When I was a child, I thought that this Karela, how can people have this? Now when I've started loving the taste of it. So we'll have to see who is taking the taste, who has given it the meaning that this was not tasty and this is now tasty for me. I'll have to keep exploring. Nice. Thank you so much for interacting in this session, and we would want to come to an end of this session now, where we can have this assignment going. You can just see, when we assume that human being is equal to body, happiness is sought through sensation or getting the right feeling from the other. As a result, body is harmed due to excessive consumption of or overindulgence to get favorable sensation. Maybe we may be consuming junk food, so on. Large number of diseases are psychosomatic in nature, so maybe we'll have to look into that. Continuity of happiness cannot be ensured by feelings from others. So many of the complaints are related to lack of feelings, proper behavior. There is a major impact on family, society, nature. Thus, what is the holistic solution to address these issues? We can ponder over it in an assignment. So yeah, with this, we can come to the end of this session now. If no one has any queries or anything to share, we can end this session. Bhaiya, Parikshit Bhaiya, do we end this session here? Yes, Vasanti Didi, namaste. So everyone, thank you so much for joining in and participating in this session.
Thank you, Prata Didi, and certainly we'll like to have more such an interactive session. So thank you, everybody. We'll meet again next Wednesday. Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
Ji, namaste, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Bhaiya. Thank you, Didi.
Namaste, Didi. Namaste, Bhaiya. Thank you.
Ji, namaste, namaste, everyone.